Oh my god, what is taking so long? I ordered my drink like 40 seconds ago. Don't they realize who I am?
Hello there, ma'am. Here is your drink. So sorry for the delay.
Oh my god, don't you realize who I am? I want to speak to your manager, and why are you also gay?
Hello? I am the manager.
Oh my god, the manager is even more gay. Who would have thunk it?
Oh. Well, good evening, laddies, lazzos, and lazzos. Welcome to the click. You smell absolutely astounding today. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Did you know that rainbow demons are coming to a place near you in the near future? Well, they're gone now, but they're going to be back very soon. They're going to be available for purchase now in June, so look out for it. Oh yes, indeed, I'm so looking forward for the beautiful Pride plushies. Speaking of things that are not beautiful, today we are going to look back at an oldie but a goldie. That is right, r/frick YouKaren, with all kinds of entitled Karen stories, restaurant stories, servers being harassed for no good reasons, and the haircuts. Oh God, the cheek haircuts are back. So just sit back, relax, and keep being that picture-perfect version of you watching click videos. Enjoy. Ooh, that's kind of flirtatious. That's very good. Okay, here we go, baby, yes. Tori. I had a woman order a salad that had blue cheese on it. When she got it, she asked me if I was aware that the blue cheese was moldy. I tried to explain it to her, but she demanded to speak to the manager.
Yes, I need to speak to the manager. Hello, I am the manager. Do you realize your moldy cheese has mold in it?
Well, would you also complain if the moldy cheese did not have mold?
Yes, I always complain. even when there's nothing to complain about. Oh, great.
That's basically the gist of it. Item count 2 times La Crema Chardonnay, $12 each, total of 25, tip amount 0, grand total.
I am a military spouse. It should be free next time. Thank a military spouse. When I became a military spouse, I thought I would get free stuff. What the frick, heart emoji? Military spouses to serve drinks for free. Frick this place. Oh my god, frick this place. We serve our asses off way more than anyone.
The same person that will be like, you will address me by my husband's rank. How about no? r/frick YouKaren. Utah woman pulls down teen skirt, calls police to report indecent exposure, and is then arrested for naughty battery. Yes, as it go, look at that. If it isn't the consequences of my actions, who would have thunk it? Wait a second, this reminds me so much of those like TikTok pranks. I'm very much doing this. When someone is flashing someone else and then they try to frame the person who was the victim of the flashing as some sort of creep. When in reality it's just like naughty harassment from the TikToker, you know? Is this just a version of that? But from like a Karen perspective. This is not like a TikTok kid doing this. This is a Karen doing it. But the conclusion is basically the same. That is insane.
Why don't you give our neighborhood a break? Haven't you ever heard that less is more? Your house is the joke of the neighborhood. It looks more like Santa's whorehouse or a Christmas abortion.
What do you mean? Tone it down a bit. And here's the house in question when someone just had fun with Christmas decorations. What do you mean? This looks amazing. What are you talking? This is super cute. You see, they even have hearts and stuff drawn in the street, probably from the kids that are like, oh my god, this is amazing. Thank you so much for Christmas. This looks like a Christmas whorehouse.
Your house is like if Christmas was only about sex toys. Your house is basically Santa's sex shop instead of workshop. It's disgusting.
I also struggle to see how this house would look like a Christmas abortion. That is a wild thing to say. Oh my god, it's Barbie being interviewed?
I don't like that on press tour she's using her Aussie accent, as if to let others know she's a good actress or something, because her American English sounds fine.
Wait, what do you mean? When she's not in character, she doesn't put on the accent of the character? That's a bad thing?
Is she here on a working visa? She lives and works in Hollywood, and that's where she gets her massive income from. Drop the accent.
Ah, yes indeed. If you work in the US or are visiting the US for something, you're only allowed to speak American. English? What is that? We speak American here. God. I cannot imagine how privileged of a life you are living when whatever accent an actor uses is your main concern of the day. That is absolutely wild. Wow, you should consider yourself very lucky and then leave the rest of us alone.
I am not one to complain.
That very much has the same vibe as someone saying like, I'm not racist, but, and that's just the most racist thing ever. Anyway, let's see if I'm correct.
But it seems absolutely outrageous to me that one of the hottest day of the year, the city's only outdoor pool, is being staffed by lifeguards for a dog swim. But kids are not allowed to swim. I called and asked why the porch plunge couldn't be postponed and the kids are allowed to swim since the lifeguards are there, and was told the dogs are registered ahead of time and we're really looking forward to it. Absolutely ridiculous decision of the city.
79 likes, most of it is laughing emoji, and 136 comments. I'm assuming, based on what I've learned from Twitter, that is not a good ratio. Most people found this post very laughable, and for a good reason.
It's just puppies going for a swim. That sounds adorable. The kids can be there like literally every single day the rest of the summer. Why is this a problem? Please, Karen, calm down.
Ruined Karen's social life with my weird naughty game. So my wife and I were having a dinner date a few months ago. Seated near us was a much younger couple. Like any younger, we would have been their parents. I'm not a nosy person, but the wife and I have been together for almost 20 years. There are gaps in conversation when you have been together this long. They obviously were just getting to know each other. Must have been a Tinder date or something. On the ride home, my wife and I got to talking about not remembering what it was like to date each other. We decided next chance we got, we would go on a Tinder date. We would tell all the stories we already know, what we do for work, favorite movies, and we did it last weekend. It was fun, and I think we both picked up some things we had overlooked over the years. Then our kid got brought up by my wife, and I rolled with it, asked about the father and such. The game changed. She said, be with all the stress at home and work, she doesn't feel the spark. Things are too vanilla. She needs to try something new and adventurous. I started pouring myself into this fantasy, listing things I wish I could do with my wife, but she's always so tired and doesn't seem up for it. At this point, we're holding hands, leaning across the table and going over all the special occasions we are gonna do together. Well, this is where my karma from eavesdropping on the kids with her Tinder date hits. A wild Karen appears. She starts jumping our asses for being cheaters. My wife told her it was none of her business, and if some stranger would bang her like she's about to get banged, she might not be such a bitch. Just still going with the roleplay. Oh my god, I love how the Karen just became part of the roleplay. Called my wife a dirty W word. I told the woman I'm really hoping she's the dirtiest W for me tonight. Well, she caused enough of a scene, the manager came and made her and her friend leave. Wife and I kept playing our game, finished our meal and went home. We had the house to ourselves. I thought this was the end of it, but no. Karen took a creep shot of us before she came to confront us. She then posted it to some cheaters busting Facebook group with our city's name and the restaurant, day and time. We have a mutual friend because a guy I work with saw it, and they are all laughing at me for cheating on my wife with my wife. We got a pretty good laugh about it. I messaged the group mods. After one look at my profile, it's pretty obvious I'm married to the woman in the photo. They took her post down and put up something about false accusations can hurt as much as cheating. She went full Karen in that thread till they banned her from somewhere she spent a lot of time posting. Oh my god. Yeah, this is the tricky thing with the online world, isn't it? Sometimes it can be used for justice or helping victims or whatever it might be, and sometimes it can go just too far because the person posting the photo doesn't have all the context or they frame it however they want. This is a story that's been repeated plenty of times. She isn't one of my friends, but I heard people were giving her a hard time on her personal profile about being nosy and not knowing all the facts. Same friend said she saw her at a community event and got his wife to troll her. His wife went up to this Karen, arms locked with her teenage son, and begged her not to tell her husband she's with a man young enough to be her son. Oh my god. I guess this woman is a bitter divorcee and is always judging people she thinks are W words. Now she's catching a lot of poo for making things up. I kind of feel bad for her. My wife and I never told anyone about the game we were playing. Everyone just thinks this lady had some kind of nervous break seeing two married happy people. TLDR. Gossiping 40-something lady shunned over my spouse and I role-playing. Oh my god. Well, that certainly took you on like a new adventure. If things were feeling a bit too vanilla and like every day and stuff like that when life gets stable, this certainly shakes it up. Oh my god, like rage baiting Karens by pretending to meet each other for the first time. That is hilarious. I do also hope that people take it like relatively easy with poking fun at her. Like some stuff like the mom with the son is obviously hilarious, and some like getting some crap on Facebook when you're trying to like out people for being cheaters and like encouraging harassment and stuff when you don't actually know all the facts. It's like, yeah, you probably deserve a bit of pushback for that. But there should also be a correct magnitude of pushback, right? It should be the amount of pushback that is deserved for the thing you did, you know? So I hope that's what's happening here. Lynn,
I am willing to talk to you if you do not make those stupid faces on your profile pic. Honestly, what woman will be interested in that? So you should be happy that I'm actually giving you a second chance. You were supposed to put your best foot forward, and this is not it.
Why would you initiate a conversation with me by making such a rude statement? With all due respect, go f*** yourself. This is an attitude I really like though, because with some people, it's really not worth the effort trying to be diplomatic, because they're just there to create trouble. They're just there to be rude, they're just there to be a little entitled pile of poo-poo, and telling them to go eat a cactus, for example, is sometimes quite suitable. Sometimes it's way more efficient than trying to be diplomatic, because some people do not like diplomacy for some reason. She seems nice. $5, there's a live, laugh, love graphic in her place. Or one of those dollar store crappy metal hangings that says, "It's wine o'clock." Probably both. I would bet money on both. Karen down the street looks through my trash, complaining that it's out the night before trash day. I leave for work at 4:30. Wait, so she's like policing the neighborhood, thinking that you put out the trash late last night instead of early in the morning when you went to work before she woke up. How is this something she manages to turn into a problem? That is amazing. Like, some people have such carefree lives that they just have to make up drama. I'm gonna dig through my neighbor's trash to try to stir up drama. Oh my god, that's a new one. Print this picture and post it to every corner in your neighborhood. Say something like, "Does anyone know this woman? If she needs help or food?" Then post local food bank numbers below. Then every time you put your trash can out, tape this picture to the top. Have you told her to F off yet? Better yet, leave a note on the top of the trash for when she lifts the lid. I have. I also framed it on the Homeowner Association Facebook page as a homeless woman looking for food in the trash. I know she complains on it every night, but people already bought the post hook, line, and sinker. And can't wait to see her in the morning. This needs an update. I love a good Karen saga. The admins took it down, but asked me to repost it with her face blurred because they said it was a good message, lol. The other Karens seem to be confused and don't recognize their own. Oh, that is so funny. And that's the kind of karma I like, because it doesn't actually hurt anyone. It just makes them feel ashamed, and hopefully ashamed enough that they will actually stop whatever this is. Don't dig through people's trash to stir up drama. What's wrong with you? Karen is pissed off because her name was printed in a newspaper without her permission. I work as a newspaper reporter for a small paper. I recently wrote an article mentioning the name of a new school board member. The article was not about her, did not quote her, and was in no way, shape, or form defaming or dishonest. Her name was simply mentioned in passing among several other names. I mean, that seems quite reasonable, like, hey, here are the new people working at the local school for our kiddos. That doesn't seem too much out of the ordinary. She calls my desk and is livid. She tells me I have absolutely no right to publish her name without her express permission, and threatens to sue if an apology is not published. She also demands to speak to the managing editor. I happily oblige. Of course, she's informed by the editor in short order that she's holding an elected position, and as such, her existence and position are already in the public forum. She's also informed there is no legal obligation to notify people that their name will be published in a newspaper, and that's apparently when she really flew off the handle. She told my boss that every single person, no matter who they are, should be made aware of their name is going to be published, and if they should also have a chance to read the article before it goes up to print. My boss laughed at her and then hung up. Frick you, Karen. If you don't want people to know who you are, then don't run for an elected position. Honestly, this feels like the kind of Streisand effect sort of thing. Even if the newspaper were to go ahead with like some malicious compliance, it would just look worse on her. It's like, oh, today we apologize because Karen rang our newspaper, threatened us with legal action, swore at us and insulted us for saying she's working at the school or whatever. I think that will make her look worse. It's like the Streisand effect, but with extra chili spice. Should I post the apology? Our apologies to Karen McPoopyface, who didn't want her name to be published in our newspaper. Sorry, Karen. Oh wait, I have something this reminds me of. Hold on, let's see if I can find it. Changes to the permanent houses. We've spoken to a few of these people. Tom, who asked to remain anonymous. Not a single was given that day. Yeah, this person, full name, asked to be anonymous. Anyway, here is what they said. So beautiful.
FYI, just to let you know, in this Florist store we have 50 plus years of combined floristry experience. So we know things. Everything we do is individual, different from the last, and not two are exactly the same. Nothing beautiful is instant. Beauty takes time. Your time requirements are not ours, and your waiting Uber are not our responsibility. We are always happy to see you, not so much if you need something before we open or after we have closed. Simple is about plus 20 minutes. Lovely is 45. Stunning 2 to 4 hours. Fantastic, huge, amazing is after lunch tomorrow. We are not a national exhibit, and we are not here to help and add content on your Insta. Leave your phone in your bag and have some manners and ask. We have the phone connected so you can call, and we can have the internet too. Try our website to order online, or if you can send us an email.
This is a weird thing to put on your business. Like, don't get me wrong, some of these things are reasonable, like reasonable expectations for delivery. Don't come in here just to like film TikToks or whatever. But this can be made in a very non-aggressive, simple bullet point list, which would probably attract more customers as well. It's like, simple bouquet, 20 minutes. More advanced, 45 minutes, and so on. I was like, no filming in here allowed, and it can be very easy. Like 5 bullet points instead of like angry ranting would do it. I was a florist for 20 years, and this is about the tune of it. I have never worked with a more toxic group of angry, depressed, entitled women and men than when I worked in that industry. Oh, yes, indeed, the equality. You would think that flowers would make people happy. Nope, not florist. Standing around gossiping all day about customers and each other was not my cup of tea. Frick you, Cindy and Pam and Dawn and Jake and Rose. A florist named Rose who was like an evil witch in a children's book. May all of you stick a flower up your butt. It will be the closest anything or anyone touched you down there in years.
Ooh, I can see that you quit your last job with just a smidge of animosity.
Sounds like a great workplace. I mean, I suppose I can see the logic, right? If you want to create art, you have to be like the suffering artist, right? True art comes from suffering. So just make sure your workplace is a toxic hellhole and the bouquets are gonna be beautiful. Woo! A Karen is a racial slur. If I were to derisively refer to a random black woman I find annoying as Shaniqua, or whatever everyone would consider it racist, the Karen slur is just dismiss and degrade the white women. That's the whole point. Man, this is like really fishing for like just adding Karens to your demographic of followers, isn't it? That is wild. To be fair, being called a Karen is about behavior, though. To be honest, you're also a Karen, even though you're not a whammon. Just 11 adults are responsible for 60% of requests of banned books from school libraries nationwide, according to a Washington Post analysis of the 2021-2022 school year. She challenges one school book a week. She says she will never stop. Oh my god. Out of all like the wacky passions and hobbies I've seen in my days, this takes the cake. This is more bitter than the florists. My god. Oh, I wonder how many of those books had like some kind of specific theme to them. I wonder what that could have been. Airbnb guests. Additional rules. Visitors strictly not allowed without prior permission from me. No use of washing machine or kitchen for guests staying less than 4 days. Washing machine use only once every 4 days for long-term guests. No cooking or washing machine use for guests staying less than 4 days. Working or studying from home not allowed. Wait a second, I was only reading the yellowed ones. Wait, it's all insane.
This is mainly a short stay place, so we don't expect much luggage with the guest. If you have more than 2 big items with each guest, you have to keep an extra storage. No smoking in the rooms. Okay, no smoking is pretty reasonable. Leave a clean room bathroom prior to departure. Pretty reasonable. Working or studying from home is not allowed.
You're not allowed to just sit on your bed with a laptop in Airbnb? What kind of rule is that?
Wi-Fi only adequate for making video calls or light internet use. Toilet roll supplied only on first day.
Toilet roll. Singular.
Long stayers will have to do their own cleaning and buying rolls and consumables. Towels supplied on request.
And then I bet it still has a cleaning fee of like $700. Man, this is amazing. Airbnbs have really gone downhill, man, haven't they? You can give this place an honest review.
Strictly no honest reviews without checking with me first. No reviews for stays under or over 4 days. So no reviews at all. Woo!
FYI, Karen is a racial slur, is a derogatory label that one race of people used to describe members of another. What are you talking about? I call people Karen sometimes. It's not a racially charged thing, fam. What the hell? Otherwise known as a racial slur. I also like how the screenshot isn't like Finnish or something. That is absolutely beautiful. Wait a second, is the argument in this post that only black people ever call people Karens? Is that the argument here? Because that's like demonstrably false. What a silly argument. Did you just make this up? I guess you just made this up. Stop locking your cars after 8 p.m. Some of us have small children and would appreciate it if you lock your cars without the beep beep noise after 8 p.m. Which, like, lock your cars without turning on the alarm. That's the thing. If it's not an option, then at least disarm the beep beep noise from under your hood. I've heard of numerous neighbors, myself included. It's unwanted and unneeded. Once you have parked your car, lock it and be done. It's not an all-night routine unless you're coming to my house to put my children back to sleep or you hiding drugs in your car. Is this person just an undercover organized crime member disguised as a Karen? They're like, no one can put alarms on their cars and then just have a bunch of break-ins. Is that what this is? So please stop. I have already one neighbor on my radar for drugs, and I will call the police if it continues because they beep the car. I will make false calls to the police saying that you are dealing drugs if you dare to do the beep beep with your car. This is so insane, man. Have some respect. Respect is a one-way street, apparently. There are families that live here. Thanks. I'm gonna be honest, fam. What sort of like paper thin walls do you have? That if you lock your car, it's like beep beep. That like wakes up your whole family? Are you what? Thanks to all your generous contributions that were raised at last year's fair, we were able to get a colorful upgrade of new picnic tables from Blorp. Yay for all to enjoy! Make sure to save the date for our fair on Blorp. Look at these colorful benches. That is really cute, really sparkles up the neighborhood. A top contributor. You could have the bridge represent one group and the benches another. This was a little overkill in my opinion, and I have a right to my opinion. I mean, everyone has the right to have an asshole as well. That doesn't mean that anyone is interested in listening to your asshole. Will there be benches painted to represent the American flag as well? That would be totally inclusive and wonderful. This is literally just primary colors. Don't be weird. Also, I wish people were more familiar with flag code. Top contributor. That's not a very fitting title. This is like bottom contributor or contribution sabotager. Yeah, this is a bit overkill. I don't like the colors, but how about American flag colors for the benches instead? That's not overkill. These young boys had a lemonade stand set up at Blorp and were told by a citizen that they had to have a business license. The boys packed up the lemonade stand and came to the police department to ask if they were breaking the law. We assured them they were fine to continue. We decided to go show our support once they were set back up. As a reminder, a business license is not needed for children with lemonade stands. Blorp License Exemption. The provisions of this title shall not be deemed or construed to require a business license for a business that is operated only occasionally and by an individual who is under the age of 18. What sort of joyless creature do you have to be to go around like harassing kids with like, you need a business license for selling a bit of lemonade? They're probably just saving for a school trip or something. Like, what do you... Why do you care so much? Why are you so angry with just simple joys? Karen accuses an old man of being a P-word and posts his pictures on Facebook group because he dares to sit in the same public park as her?
And monsters are out everywhere kids go. Every park, every play center, water, theme parks, just everywhere, and cause that to blend in so well. Parents' attention are always on the kids so they don't get noticed. Well, this old P-word was at the Blorp Park. Had no problem sitting up from me in front of my two babies, two other little kids playing in the water. This man had red flags all over him, sitting with a protein bar and water staring at my babies. This man was on his own. No kids with him, had no reason to sit right there when there's kilometers of beautiful benches. So my kid's dad stood in front of him and said to the old P-word to get up. He can come with me. Police was called and apparently he did nothing wrong. He can sit where he likes. He was getting up looking at my beautiful baby. I feel so sick. I couldn't believe it and something needs to be done about it. Anyway, so even though he was free to walk, at least now his name and face are known to the police. At least that's something. Okay, so you just randomly assumed someone was a creep. This is the kind of allegation that ruins people's lives. You know, this gets them doxxed and threats and can even have even worse consequences. It can cost them their entire lives, you know, and you will just casually toss around this allegation because someone sat in a park. That is like, were they actually doing anything inappropriate? Were they like taking pictures of you and your kids, or were they doing something weird
with their body. This seems really wild, fam.
And please beware of P-words, comes all ages blending in. They usually lurk or creeks parks with these cute little fluffy dogs to incite our children.
Yeah, if a man is walking his puppy, he's just like, well, kids, there are more puppies over in my white van. Come here. This is insane. This is insane. Not to mention that this is probably like libel or something like that. You're posting someone's picture with this horrible accusation that you have no way of proving and no actual evidence and nothing has actually happened. And you're just so perfectly content with ruining this person's life for sitting in a park. This is insane.
It's time to get serious about it. Next time you're with your kids, take notice of who's around you. Our kids needs us to protect them from these sick people.
The grammar and stuff in this post is so bad, man.
Call police straight away. Share this putrid P-word's face.
I'm gonna be honest, unless there's like more context to something bad that actually happened or like the police took it seriously or whatever, I hope this woman gets sued. You can't just toss around these sort of allegations, fam. Based on this story, this was just some random dude sitting in a park. You can't just go around and try to ruin people's lives like this. You're absolutely nuts.
2 of my kids would not stop kicking the airplane seat in front of them. Cool. Someone tried that with my 1.5 years old years ago. He laughed, kicked the seat more. They told me to hold his legs. I did. He screamed for the rest of the flight. So yeah, that worked out well.
What do you mean with the sass? That worked out. It's your kid. It's your kid. They can't just kick the seat. You know, kids might be noisy on flights. You know, sometimes they might cry or be upset, that kind of stuff. That's sort of be expected. But like, I wouldn't expect a kid to like just relentlessly kick my seat. That's something different, fam.
I hope you're blessed with magical screaming as well, and then the glares of the passengers around you when they saw the interaction and realized you've ruined everyone's flights.
Wait. They think they're on like your side against the other person's. Like, hey, the kid has been kicking my seat for 30 minutes. Can you make him stop? Oh, now he's screaming because he's a spoiled little shit. That's also your fault somehow. Oh, that is amazing. It's so baffling to me that this Karen expected the passengers to be okay with her kid kicking their seat, and then thinks that everyone was angry with the innocent passenger for complaining after the kid wouldn't stop screaming, for not being able to kick the seat anymore. How delusional. Yeah, like a child or a baby being upset on a flight because it's just noisy and long travels and stuff, that's to be expected. Like, kids can get upset, that's fine. But getting upset because you're throwing a tantrum because you're not allowed to like physically kick another passenger's seat, I don't know. That sounds like a bit of parenting that is needed, to be honest. That's something else.
Please don't use this lawn service. They started at 10 o'clock Sunday morning with a leaf blower. They are still at it at 10:35.
10 doesn't seem that early. Alright, I'll give the Karen half a gold star for this, okay? Like, it's not that early. You're absolutely correct. Like, you're not gonna wake anyone up at this time, most likely. But man, I hate leaf blowers with a passion. They're the noisiest, worst shit ever. I have a couple of neighbors that are obsessed with renting leaf blowers all the time, and it's the worst. And they keep going for like 2 or 3 hours at a time, just like no, I hate leaf blowers. I hate them. I'm a Karen about this. I'll die on this hill. This is a leafy little hill that I will gladly die on. Gino's cheesesteak and onion. A few weeks ago, the phone at the store rang. We went to answer it like we do 100 times a day. Answer, take the name, take the order, and give a time for pickup. Nothing to it. Boy, were we wrong. The woman on the other end said she lived in the village after moving a few blocks away from our restaurants in the middle of November last year. She went on,
I'm a vegan, my family's all vegan, the kids have never had meat, my husband hasn't had meat since we met 4 years ago, I was never a problem before because we weren't outside throughout the winter, now we have full access to our backyard and we can smell your meat cooking, and it's making my husband mistake. It's making my husband have these sinful temptations of a burger, so you need to close your business.
Honest to God, at this point in the conversation, we thought it was a joke or a prank call. We've had a large following and sometimes people like to have fun with us. Thinking we were playing along and matching the vibe, we said, oh honey, you have much bigger problems if my meat is tempting your man to the other side. We really hoped it was a prank and the clip would go viral. We thought this was a weirder response. She did not, and it became apparent that it was not a prank call. At this point, she became very irritable and said if we didn't stop
invading her sacred family space.
yes, she said sacred, with beef, she was going to call the village office and police department and start taking action to get us shut down. Our response, you ask? We have never been the sharpest of shatters on the cheese board, but can you legally shut down a restaurant for smelling good? She hung up. Note to husband, we would like to invite you to our store for a sandwich on us. In fact, come and enjoy our Sausage Fest Thursdays. The first time is free. After that, you're going to have to pay for the sausage your wife can't give you. We'll even Lysol you down before you leave. We wouldn't want her to smell us on you. Be careful, don't get caught with a grease stain on your collar. Your wife will know you've been cheating. Shh. Just our dirty little secret. Oh my god, I love the sass of this place. I would give them a 5-star review just for the sass and just for tempting the husband. Come to the dark side. We have sausage parties. Karen screws herself out of over $100. I just got to witness a Karen die inside in real time, and it was glorious. I work in a big chain supermarket, had to jump into deli and help serve, because they were getting smashed. I've only served deli a few times and was still relatively new to entering items into the scales that printed tickets. A lady asked for a kilo of wings and 40 of our chicken skewers. I ring the skewers up to $80, print the ticket, and go wrap.
Excuse me?
Full Karen mode.
The ticket says $250 each. That says $280. This means I got it for free, right?
I look at the ticket. It's $280. So I say, oh, sorry, no, it's definitely $280. But I noticed I had screwed up. Items charged by each need a quantity too. Otherwise, the system thinks you just had one. I smile a sickly sweet smile. No, it's definitely $280, but good thing you pointed that out. I accidentally only charged you for only one instead of 40. Let me just ring that up again. The look on her face was priceless as the new total appeared on the screen. In trying to save 30 cents, she fricked herself out over $100. Frick you, Karen. I mean, maybe the intention was good. Maybe she was trying to be like, hey, this is wrong. It's supposed to be more expensive, but the tone indicates that is not the case. Oh, that is so funny. That is so funny. That's like instant karma. A 20-something Karen just told me,
autism is no excuse.
A woman at the dog park asked me to leave because
my dog was sniffing everywhere and I was just sitting alone.
I explained that I don't come here to socialize, I come here for my dog to socialize, and was told I'm still creepy for sitting on a bench while your dog is just doing its thing. That is wild. What's with people calling out random people in the park for wild things? It's like sitting on a bench is borderline illegal, apparently. Yikes. Then I said I was autistic and not comfortable around people I don't know, and was told again,
that's no excuse.
And she asked me to leave again. This is absolutely bonkers. What's with all these people that think that sitting on park benches is like some federal crime? But you know what? There is no Karen video complete without some 1-star reviews. Let's get into it, shall we?
1 star. Was told no by the manager that they were closing. She was very aggressive and not friendly. Disappointing. 1 star. The cashier at the front told us before we could even walk through the front door that they were closing soon. Is this all the reviews? 1 star. We had no idea how it worked or make a reservation. 1 star. I have given this location so many chances every time they fall short. Tonight we ordered delivery after waiting close to an hour. I called them to follow up where our order was. I was told they didn't have a driver and we would get a full refund. I asked to talk to the manager and she was locked in the office counting the safe. I found it crazy that she couldn't take 2 minutes to apologize. They have lost my business forever after this.
Who cares? The manager needs to personally apologize. It's not gonna do anything though, that happens. Like a driver got sick, you got a refund, order something else. Seems easy enough.
2 stars.
Ooh, climbing up in the ratings, are we?
I made an appointment for my daughter and I come to get our nails done. We got there a little early, but instead of being welcomed, we felt like we were a disservice. Okay. She could have offered us a glass of water. What's with the absolutely botched English?
Please, we don't speak English, we speak American here.
She could even have said, why don't you go a few shops nearby?
Nearby, too, okay.
No, she said, sorry, if you want to go somewhere else, that's fine. It was extremely rude and not a way I would treat someone at my work or my house. Been coming here for years, I will find somewhere else.
What's with his reviews being barely literate? Is that like a correlating factor?
1 star. My husband and I were denied a sandwich because they were closing soon.
Do not throw cigarette butts in the river. The ducks are getting cancer. No, don't do that. What kind of Karen is feeding ducks cigarettes? That is so sad. There is a duck pretty close to where I live. That's an amazing duck. It's like almost tame. It will eat out of your hand if you just sit still for a bit. Once I was there with a burger and it tried to steal my fries. Like several times. It's addicted to fast food.
These are the worst things for neighborhoods. Look at it. Little basketball thing.
I can think of a few things that would make a neighborhood a bit worse and unsafe. And I don't think basketball is one of them.
This is the second time this happened to my yard. A police report will be done. Look at that. Look at that little corner of the grass.
I mean, that's annoying if you've been working on your grass, to be fair. But I also don't think like a police report will like take this seriously, to be honest. Republicans in Nebraska celebrate after banning healthcare for trans kid and abortion.
Jesus, I trust in you. Yeah, celebration.
Yeah, that's a flock of Karens, all right, in their natural habitat. This note left on my friend's car that was parked on a public street.
Hello. Would you be so kind as to park further down the street past the lamppost as to not hinder our privacy and enjoyment of our property, as you're currently parking outside our kitchen and family room? Thank you very much in advance for your kind cooperation and understanding, which is very much appreciate.
Oh, which we very much appreciate. Don't park your car outside the street, because we want to enjoy the view of the pavement. Oh, yes, indeed. This comment was under a video on Facebook of me proposing to my girlfriend. I am also a girl, so I guess they had an issue with that. Congratulations to you both. Awesome. Congratulations. Oh, how wonderful.
You all woke, sad world we live in.
It's spelled you are. If you're going to be a hater, you can at least get it right. Nothing like being a little bigot, but also botching your grammar. Isn't that absolutely beautiful?
You get a little brown poo star because you're poo.
We reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. Oh, that's kind of a good sign. That's kind of a good sign. This is good for workers. You don't have to serve a Karen if you don't want to. Isn't that wonderful? Every place should have a sign like this. My expression as Karen explains how the Rapture is coming in 2 months, but I'll be spared because I did her a minor favor just to get rid of her.
My expression as soon as she left.
This is the same kind of vibe as those Karens who harass gay couples in McDonald's.
It's like, oh my God, don't you know that you're going to hell? I'm doing you a favor by harassing you in the McDonald's line. This is what Jesus wanted. When I go to the gates of heaven, they'll be like, you harassed those gay kids in a McDonald's a few years ago. That's how you get into heaven, Karen. You cracked the secret. Karen was conceived as an insult by submissive millennials who hate confrontation and believe it's nobler to accept the wrong order from Taco Bell than to say,
hey, give me the actual burrito I ordered. Okay, here's the thing. Mistakes happen, right? And most of the time, it's just honest mistakes, and you can fix it by just asking kindly. The fast food worker doesn't have it out for you specifically. They didn't wake up this morning and be like, wow, I hope Karen McKaren face comes in here so I can get their order wrong. They're just going about their day, doing their job. And I imagine that if the roles were reversed and someone came to your workplace and like a minor mistake happened or something, you would kind of expect them to just explain it pleasantly so it can be fixed, you know? And that's the Karen behavior, you know? Mistakes happen, and they should be fixed, but that doesn't mean that you have to call people poo asses for it. You know, the whole yelling verbal abuse thing is when the Karen stuff comes into the picture. And normally, it doesn't actually get your way either, you know? You'll probably just get kicked out, or eventually police are called because someone didn't cut your sandwich or something. Dear God, fam.
Heather, I am sick and tired of all these cats getting on top of my brand new truck and laying on it. They need to do more than just fix the cats.
What do you mean fix the cats? Do you mean like make them sleep with the fishies? Or do you mean like there's some government programming for cats?
There is still an abundance of stray cats and people who let their cats roam, and I'm sick of them being on top of my vehicles. It's getting out of hand.
But like, is the cat actually damaging the vehicle in some way, or is it just vibing? If it's just vibing, that's just cute, more cats in the neighborhood, you know, that's a good thing. Pet a cat when you come across it. That's a good rule of living a happy life.
Do you know where your teenagers are? We attend the gym at Blorb, and I found many of the teenagers making out in their cars in the parking garage. Just thought we let the parents know. Smiley, I'm not creepy at all. I'm just letting you know.
Are you just telling on yourself, going around in a parking garage, peeking through windows at people like just minding their business and being intimate? That is way worse than anything you're trying to call out. That is so creepy. Well, laddies, lasses, and lasses, I do hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed having you here, you wonderful, beautiful bean. Remember, the rainbow plushies will be out in the very near future, so keep a lookout, don't miss out, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Take care. Mwah.